Hello everybody and welcome to the season finale of Behind the Camera Quick Cuts, the side series of Behind the Camera with Andy Games, where we celebrate the streamers, the creators, their journeys, and what's in the store for them in the future. My guest today is GeoJackHD. Geo, how are we doing, sir?
I'm doing very well. Pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show. It's been a very, very interesting few months for you. Take us back, man. So, obviously, you just hit your 10K, which is incredible. Massive congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us about the journey, like your road to getting to 10K followers on TikTok.
Oh, well, I've been streaming for a lot longer than majority of people will know, especially coming to Diffraction as well. I've been streaming, creating content across all platforms for about 10 years now. I think it was 10 years in August just
Oh,
gone.
wow.
And obviously, almost 10 out of 10 years, I've been playing things like Call of Duty, Battlefield, AAA titles that were very oversaturated. Um, Came to TikTok. Joseph from Diffraction, obviously we both know Diffraction very well, reached out and it changed everything. I had the release of a WWE game, WWE 2K25, and it changed everything from early access playing that, streaming it. Obviously, I was one of the first creators on TikTok playing it and just exploded from there. Went from a good day being 10 viewers to a good day now being 400, 500
Yeah.
viewers. So it's been a crazy, crazy 6 months.
Yeah, it is just incredible, how quickly it's just taken off. Because, if you look back through your TikTok, you've got all of your other games that you were doing and
Mm.
your Let's Plays and stuff, which is it's still good content. But I think it's just, as you say, it's like being in the right place at the right time, being one of the first creators to play a game, and the growth just kind of came with it. So then, at what point did you start then structuring your lives to be that of WWE programming as such?
It's probably a good month or two
Mm-hmm.
after. So I'd say only about 4 or 5 months ago. Obviously, I started seeing the growth immediately as soon as I started playing 2K25 on TikTok Live, and it just obviously blew up to the point where I was like, "Hang on a minute, I might have to re-release a schedule," because at that point I had no schedule,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a schedule before and kind of work balance, family, kind of threw that off a little bit. So I was like, "I'll just go live when I can." A month into 2K25, I just thought, you know what, it's worth maybe worth having a schedule for again, and it's absolutely gold. I've got viewers coming in. The amount of people in my chat asking when the next live stream has dropped by about 99% because they all know where it is. It's got to the point where I should have biro written on my head, check the pinned video. My moderators joke about that on a daily basis, saying, "Oh, you're going to get that tattoo on your forehead now, Jack." And yeah, along the lines, yes.
Yeah, that's incredible. Run us through, just just to remind the audience and then those listening who might not know. Take us through then your weekly schedule for the shows that you put on whenever you're playing
Yeah,
2K25.
so I go live 5 days a week, 9 p.m. UK BST. Obviously, being a British-based TikTok content creator, they're 2 hour shows, so I keep it along the same lines as an actual WWE live show. So yeah, 2 hour live shows, 5 days a week. The structure started. I was going to maybe think along the lines of changing it. Obviously, started doing some coaching calls with my obviously Diffraction,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, you know what, let's stick it out, let's see how it goes. And 6 months down the line, I've got people being like, "How on earth have you done it? Like, how have you managed to bring in a community so?" Like, I think my community. I always say it, and I think every creator says it, but right from the bottom of my heart, my community is everything.
Yeah.
Um, every single stream, I'll end the stream with thanking my fans, thanking the viewers, thanking the community. Without the viewers, I say it to them a million times a day. Like, without the viewers, then there's no GeoJack HD.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I feel you there, one thing that I think you've really grasped as a streamer and a creator, especially with the growth that you've had, is having so many people in your chat, such an active chat, but being able to still keep on top of it, better than most people that I've seen. Is that just something that has come naturally to you, or is that with practice, or what's the story with that?
Well, I've always I hate to say it, but I've always been way too confident in front of a camera.
Totally fair. You know, it's a
Which isn't bad, to be fair, in the content world. I started off as a teenager working on a FM radio show,
oh, very
presenting
good.
and having an hour segment, and that was alongside BBC. That was down in Ipswich, and that was just a little thing I did once a week around college, and I just fell in love with it. And people would start saying, "You know what? You're bloody amazing at presenting," and that's where obviously the speaking to the camera on stream. I used to say to people, it doesn't matter whether you're streaming to one viewer or 100 viewers. Always treat it like you've got a million people in front of you, because all it takes is that 1 second of the right person to come into your content and be like, "Wow," and then that's your content creation journey absolutely like blown up right there. So I think I've always been confident in talking, and I have no clue how I do it. I have no clue how I keep up with the chat. And I notice it now, especially in the last 6 months, that I do, how much I actually pay attention to chat, because I I don't even scroll up on the chat. I'm constantly like looking at the main monitor and then instantly like back and forth while playing the game.
hmm
I think that's the biggest challenge, is playing the game at the same time as reading messages.
Yeah, definitely. Because like WWE 2K games, they're very kind of input heavy. You need to
Oh,
be
definitely.
constantly like tapping something, whether it's a
Hmm.
reversal, you're trying to like get a move in. So obviously, like, you know, it's a quite a good skill to have, and it actually it fascinates me though, like in terms of the start of your content creation journey, like, you know, with doing the radio show. Like
Mm,
I feel like it's the common theme that I find with like most people is having that confidence to just be in front of a camera and just to talk to
yeah.
people. That really is everything for it, because and I mean, I think it kind of shows that there's no real sort of no too early or too late for it. It's just as soon as you find yourself able to do this, there's something addictive about it, isn't it? Like just being there and just
Oh, it's
having
crazy.
a
It's like
community.
it's like having a prescription. It's like a medicine prescription. It's like you have to have that chat there for at least once a day, sort of thing. And I'll find myself, and my moderators kick me in the teeth for it. Going live on days off. If there's nothing going on, or if my missus isn't home or something, I'll always find myself going live. And like you said, it is like an addiction. It's I have to go live, and it's not because I feel like I have to,
Yeah.
but it's the feeling that I know I've got them viewers out there. For example, like some of the shows you've obviously mentioned already, between 1 to 400 viewers from 4 different continents around the world. That's so big to me. That meaning, like, I think about a month ago, one of our Monday shows, and Joseph is very, very keen on Monday Night Geo. He absolutely loves the idea of it, calling it a staple show. But the fact that I sat there, and at the end of the 2 hours, in the space of 2 hours, I had over 20,000
Yeah.
total views in a game and stream for 2 hours. And being a creator who's only just hit 10K follower wise, and not even create a program or anything, that's a massive goal. And like I said, I used something big to promote my channel from that. I used, oh, hang on a minute, that's the capacity of the O2 Arena.
Yeah.
And then people will be like,
100%.
"Holy hell, he's just got like that many people." I've been to the O2 Arena, and it's huge. So if he sold that out, then he's a big deal. I want to be here again.
Yeah. I think it's good to like compare those sorts of things together as well, like how many views you had, because especially if the number keeps going up, then you know that you're
Yeah.
doing something right. But on the topic of, you know, like live venues and live events,
Hmm.
you just off the back of your very own first PLE of sorts,
We
Summer's
did.
End.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Tell us where the idea came from for that, and I mean, from what I've seen, it was like an incredible success. I absolutely loved it. But
Oh, it
tell us,
was.
like, give us the background to it.
So obviously, since I've started doing WWE creation, long story short, I was born into a family who loved wrestling,
Hmm.
both British wrestling, what you'd see on like Boxing Day on Channel 4 or something, back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And then obviously WWE, WWF, ECW, TNA. Growing up watching all these wrestling shows, I'm always been someone who's like, okay, I can't miss this pay per view. I can't
Hmm.
miss this premium live event. Even in the last couple of like last 6 months, I've done like live reactions with some of my moderators where I'm on stream reacting to me watching the live events. And I'm like, you know what? I want to make a difference to this. And I've kind of stopped doing those live reactions, and instead I'm doing my own pay-per-view. I'm coming up with a content. I'm coming up with a venue name. I'm creating the design of the venue in game, so it's got a custom look to the whole thing. Like you said, we've just had Summer's End, and that name just come out of nowhere. It's like, okay, September's the end of summer.
Yeah.
October, it's October now. Like, how about we just like WWE do Summer Slam, so why don't we just do Summer's End? And it just stuck. And I went on the computer, come up with some ideas for arena designs, and it just stuck. And I put out a whole structure the same way any wrestling brand would do, any wrestling promotion would put on. I made posters, I announced it, I plugged it, I made the event on TikTok, and people just flooded in. It was incredible.
Yeah, and it's such a cool concept as well, especially given the sort of the flow that your streams have, where it's like the sort of the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, midweek madness, Friday nights, Monday night Geo and all, like it has the same sort of structure is the
Yeah.
word I'm looking for, so it makes sense to have that kind of PLE that you would put in every so often. So what's the future look like for future PLEs? Are you going to do more? Are you going to kind of structure them? Maybe sort of have like a big four type thing similar to WWE? What's the story as much as you can sort of divulge?
So at the moment, I've confirmed with my viewers that there's a Halloween
Oh, very
show,
good.
Halloween PLE. I haven't confirmed the name yet. I've got about 5 different names and logos for it. So it's pretty much coming down to what what I'm gonna be. I don't know if you saw in the recent streams, my background is all Halloween themed now.
Mhm.
As soon as October's come around the corner, it's like webs hanging off my shelf. So obviously we've got the whiteboard where I put the main event for every show to interact. People are like, oh, what's the main event? Hang on a minute, it's behind you. I'm going to come back in the future and see it. I've got everything aiming towards a very big Halloween show at the end of the month, and I've pretty much teased that I'm going to be in like full Halloween fancy dress for it, and we're just going to have a good laugh. So we've got that, and then at the moment I'm currently trying to figure out a Christmas and a New Year.
Very good, very good. Because one thing that you do differently with your PLEs, or at least for Summer's End, was you were just strictly commentating from start to finish in comparison to your normal days where you are just playing through the game. Like, how did that
Yeah.
feel going through the motions of just not playing the game in comparison?
It was pretty relaxed. It had the same sort of feeling as if I was loading up Netflix at my desk and watching a wrestling show, just sitting there. But doing the commentary is something I've always loved. Before wrestling, it was football, and I'd do like FIFA streams,
Yeah.
and I'd sit there and like in my own time, I'm always commentating. I'm always talking to the game, sort of thing. As weird as it is, I think any creator finds it a little bit weird where you're just talking to a screen, especially with streaming. You're always. It was kind of comfortable doing it, but it would come across really natural.
Yeah. I think that's the important thing as well, because it's something that I always kind of notice, especially with when you have viewers, and obviously with the amount of viewers that you get, like, it's amplified. And it's that if it doesn't come natural to yourself, your viewers are going to see that. And it's the same way,
Oh,
like,
they're
if
going to see that as
something's,
an awkwardness in the middle of it. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
they're gonna know. And like, it's one of those things as well where as soon as you realize that they know, it's just the dominoes just start falling at that point. So like,
Exactly. Your attitude, that's a massive barrier in streaming a game like WWE. With the whole like the community, you got the wrestling community, and then you've got the people who are like, "Oh, you do know wrestling's fake," or the typical. I like the one at the moment where they just put pushing 30. By the way, I'm like, yeah, and I'm live here, and you're sat in my stream watching it, so thank you, sort of thing. But um, that's the best part about my community. My community, I put on a character in my streams. So obviously I have a custom wrestling character in the games. And it's just if something negative happens in a stream, like you said, the viewers instantly recognize the change in attitude, and that's when you see the numbers start to drop.
yeah.
So I find it so important to try and I sit down with my moderators weekly and call it like a zero reaction policy,
Mm.
where my mods and me don't react to hate half as much as we used to. And I'm slowly trying to push that out completely. That if there's someone in the chat hating, ignore it. Let them have their fun. Let them have their 30 seconds where they're going to get bored and just move on to the next one. Or if they're like persistent, just one of my moderators just hits the mute button. And it's like that means my energy isn't dampened. The viewers are having a great time still, and it just moves on. It's like a snowball effect. Once my energy's passed, everyone's passed, and you see it so much in my chat. Like people appreciate what I do and how I do it. So I feel that's a massive push to my growth at the moment.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And when you kind of have that growth as well, like there's an element of professionalism that you kind of need to maintain in that, because for like something you touched on before, like, all it takes is that 1 second for that one person to see what it is that you're doing, and if they catch it at the wrong time, then it's game over at that point. But like, yeah, like it is the best way is to just, because you don't know who's watching. You have to say, if you
No,
have
exactly.
anywhere between 100 and 400 people watching you at one go, you don't have that many chatters in comparison. You have maybe sort of a fraction of that will be chatting. That's just the way it goes with streaming in general.
Exactly.
But yeah, like, even if it's like you react to somebody trolling or making a negative comment,
Yeah.
if you react to that, it could have a negative effect on at least one person watching, and and that's like one person too many that it should. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so then let's talk about diffraction then, just for a little bit. So you joined
yes.
diffraction earlier this year, and obviously it's like it's just kind of the proof's in the pudding, really, about in terms of how it's worked out for you. So what sort of strategies then did you implement from joining diffraction that's kind of helped you get to where you are today?
I'd say definitely learning the structure of the channel, the persona of myself, persona of my like the attitude on stream, um, cleaning up the layout of my stream, just little changes to the stream, like getting rid of way too many overlays or logos, and just making it tidy, making it look a lot more minimalistic but cleaner. It gave it a much more professional feeling. I would used to have like multiple goals on the screen. I'd have a logo spinning around in the center of the screen. And looking back at it now, I'd never go back to that. Going back to that, it just looks a mess. I look back at some of my old content and I'm like, why did I do that? But I feel like the most important thing as a creator, obviously finding your identity, as obviously we push into Fraction, it is so important to find your creator identity. Build a structure behind your content. Why do you make that content? Obviously, with me with WWE, there's a passion what's been there since I was a kid. So it's and the WWE, the viewers who will probably be listening to this, if they're WWE fans, it would be very, very ironic to go without saying that it's the fire that burns. And I'm sure you'll get the reference, but that it is literally quite like that. It is the fire that burns in me that keeps me going. And like, if I want to create better content, that flame's only going to get bigger.
Yeah.
And it's just so important to have a meaning behind your content. I could sit here 7 days a week and play Battlefield or Call of Duty and still have like one viewer, because I enjoy it, but what's the real meaning behind me wanting to stream it? Whereas with WWE, I'm like, I've grown up watching this. I've grown up. I've been to the O2 Arena. I've been to Wembley. I've travelled all around seeing this wrestling business grow while I've grown. And now it's not going into my job, but it's going into a professional hobby that I'm able to promote to everyone. And now I'm sat here looking at opportunities in the future.
Yeah, exactly. And like with a game like WWE as well, like I know there is that kind of not so much repetitive nature of it, but like there's X amount of things that you could do, finite things you do in terms of your matches and all. But the storytelling aspect of it and how creative you can be is almost infinite. Like, I mean, you're putting on your shows 2 hours a day, but there's like the stage will be different, the ring will be different, the title holders, the matches, everything, and you can kind of create this like lore that goes with it in terms of what an ongoing story is like. Whereas like games that are round based, like Battlefield or Call of Duty or even FIFA or something, where it's just match after match, there is, I would say, it's a lot more limited in terms of like what you can do with that, rather than just doing the same thing, match in, match out. Whereas with WWE, there is, even
it's
if
an
it is
infinite
doing different
world.
matches, yeah, absolutely,
Definitely.
and like the storytelling kind of goes with it. And I think like I'm a big fan of storytelling, like as I think it's a very important thing that we do, especially as creators, because
100%, yeah.
like what we do when we're like doing our content, that tells the story of what it is we do, why we do it, and everything like that. And it's like it's such an incredible thing, so it's good for the viewers to see that as well,
Hmm.
because then they become part of the story. They, as much as they want to, and they kind of feel like they're growing with you as a creator. And it's like such an incredible thing.
Oh, definitely. And along the storylines with it as well, I have viewers, a match will end, there'll be like the main event, and they'll be like, oh, what's next? What does this mean now for so and so, for like Roman Reigns being a double champ or Seth Rollins being double champ from last night's stream? Everyone in the chat's like, oh, what does this mean for the future of blah, blah, blah? And it's that anticipation. It's almost like, although I've only got 10,000 followers on the platform, but it's almost like I've got that audience already that are like, oh, I've got my ticket for this show now. Like, I'll be back next week to see what happens regarding this championship. And then I'll have viewers who haven't been in for a while, and they'll be like, oh, is so and so your current champ? Is he still your champion? And I'll be
Mhm.
like, oh no, he got attacked by this guy and then lost it to this guy. And that's also what helped build up for Summer's End with
Yeah.
the PLE I made. The couple of weeks before it, I started noting down during stream results, or if there was an interference, or like myself, my custom character for Logan, one of my moderators, got ambushed mid match, and he lost his title, then got ambushed again, and that kind of formed up for our custom tag team to like appear at the PLE sort of thing. And it worked really well. The storytelling in WWE is obviously, as you say, infinite,
Yeah.
and there's no limit of what you can do. And with new WWE games coming out pretty much yearly, it just gives you that infinite circle. Like, I know very well at the end of in the new calendar year, I'm going to have this new game come out with new features. I'm going to be able to push it even harder,
Yeah.
and then potentially push my content to further limits.
Yeah, exactly. And like obviously with the position that, you're at the start of this year, being one of the first on TikTok to be like, feature WWE 2K25 as your main game, you get the same thing, but with the backing that you currently have compared
Exactly.
to like, what, maybe 1,000 followers beforehand. Like it's
Yeah.
just, like I think it sounds like there's like a very bright future ahead. And looking forward at the future, then what do you have like any specific goals in mind for what you want to achieve in terms of your content and how you can elevate your content, or is it very much a kind of take opportunities as they come sort of thing?
Um, my main drive is to get some sort of media work
Mm-hmm.
in the wrestling industry, potentially. Obviously, the current aims are to be in attendance at the Royal Rumble in
Yeah.
January. And that is going to be a media fest for me. Like, previous Royal Rumbles, we've seen WWE have exclusive experiences where people can play an early build of the WWE
Yeah.
games behind closed doors. So that is a massive opportunity for me. Obviously, it's going to be over in Saudi Arabia, so I've got that whole content window of opportunities of like, this is what it's like in Saudi Arabia, because there's so many people who have never have even stepped foot in anywhere around the world like that. I've obviously never been to Saudi Arabia myself. I've been to Dubai, I've been to Qatar, and I feel like opening that door into the wrestling world over there,
Yeah.
and being able to show wrestling fans all around the world what it's like over there, and just what the level of the shows is, like the sports venues, the events. We've seen obviously TKO, UFC, WWE put on incredible shows over there previously in recent years, and I feel like it could only just go up from there. So my aim is to be a big part of that, and it's just push, 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 and get the attention of everyone and all the right people.
Yeah, and honestly, it's an incredible goal to have. And like, obviously, if the last 6 7 months or anything to go by, you're definitely going on the right direction for it.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
No, of course. Jack, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on Behind the Camera Quick Cuts. What an incredible way to round off the first series of this. just before we head off, so just would like you to be able to plug your own content, just sort of let the listeners and viewers know where they can find you on any and all platforms.
Yep. So anyone who doesn't know me, my name is GeoJackHD. I'm a UK-based WWE creator here on TikTok. You can find me under that username on most platforms, Instagram and X, aka Twitter. And you'll find me live 5 days a week, 9 p.m. UK BST.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you again, Jack. It's been an absolute pleasure. So,
You're very
yes,
welcome.
this rounds off the first season of Behind the Camera Quick Cuts. I've been Andy Gaines. My guest today has been GeoJackHD. Definitely give him a follow on all the platforms, as just said. And we will be back in the new year for season 2 of Behind the Camera Quick Cuts. But until then, take care, and I will see you soon. Peace.